Hello, and welcome to Geeky Ghouls. We're your hosts, Cheyenne.
Bree.
And Claudia.
Each week we'll dive into the world of ghosts that wander the night, cryptids that lurk just beyond, fairy tales.
Plus anything and everything in between, which may hold darker truths than you imagine.
So grab your favorite blanket, turn off the lights, and settle in as we conjure up some ghoulish fun.
Welcome, spooky friends, to Geeky Ghouls, where we dive into the chilling tales and curious origins of our favorite hauntings. As Halloween creeps closer, we're unmasking the origins of Halloween, a holiday that blends ancient rituals, harvest celebrations, and a dash of mischief.
From Celtic festival of Samhain, where the veil between worlds grow thin, the modern day trick-or-treating will go explore how traditions have transformed over the centuries. Get ready for ghostly stories, eerie facts, and a few spine-tingling surprises along the way.
So grab your pumpkin spice and settle in as we embark on a journey through the shadows of Halloween past. Let's get spooky. So how are you guys doing today?
Feeling good, but I feel like I might start coughing, so I'm going to do my best to just mute my mic whenever needed.
Oh, but we want to hear you hack up a lung.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's very fall of you to have a cough, you know. This is we're getting into flu season.
Not quite yet. I still think it's like 90 degrees over here. Doesn't feel like it's very fall.
As somebody with kids, it is definitely getting into flu season regardless of the weather. So you guys excited for Halloween?
Absolutely. Also, I really love the engagement we were getting on Instagram this week with the cursed objects. So we will eventually do an episode on cursed objects, or maybe more specific
Ooh,
stories.
the most cursed object in the world? Are we going to talk about some kind of box?
No, oh my god. I'm not
I do
I
not
don't
claim
know.
this negative energy.
We do not claim this negative energy.
Ooh, yeah.
But yes, we will do an episode on that. We actually have a slide already for that. It is coming. That episode is coming
Yeah.
for that
I
item.
think we're all a bit too scared to actually add anything to it, but it's there.
Yes.
It's waiting.
It's already haunting us.
Gasp.
Taking up space in my mind.
All right, let's dive into the enchanting world of Samhain. Picture this, it's around 2,000 years ago in ancient Ireland, and the Celts are gathering to celebrate the end of the harvest season. Samhain marks the time when the nights grow longer and the veil between the living and the dead is supposed to become a lot thinner.
During these festivals, people would light bonfires, put on costumes, and set out offerings to appease wandering spirits. They believed that on this night, the ghosts of ancestors and even mischievous fairies might cross over into our world. The supernatural of Samhain were so closely intertwined that communal bonfires were lit and celebrated. The bonfire flames were thought to ward off monsters and spirits breaching over. Animal and monster costumes were worn during the celebrations, also called mumming, to scare any monsters or spirits away.
Samhain wasn't just about the spooks. It was also a time for feasting, storytelling, and connecting with the past. So whether you're wearing a costume and indulging in some treats or you're participating in the celebrations, it brought in the echoes of ancient traditions. Offerings would be prepared, which would often be left outside of the villages so the monsters and spirits wouldn't want to enter the village. The Fae were often blamed for the mischievous behavior during this time. You gotta always blame the mischievous behavior on the Fae. It was the night court. Just kidding.
The night court.
Here we go again with the night
I know.
court. We'll bring it up. We're gonna read it. We're gonna read a paragraph. Just kidding. Just kidding. We're not going
I've got
to
a few
read it.
paragraphs we can read, but we might also get banned afterwards. So
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a podcast that like deep dives.
Oh, I'm sure Akatar is so popular. Yeah, so the Fae are seen as mischievous, like bad beings, not like how we read in storybooks now. Um, but to continue
Oh.
our story of Samhain, um,
I do want to add in, they were not the night court to them. They were very much monstrous, mischievous creatures, and they
yes.
did not want them around. So that's where all this is coming from. They did not want them around. They offered them offerings so that they wouldn't come into their villages and leave. You know, I think we talked about this in last episode, where we talked about how the black-eyed children could be changelings. They were scared
Hmm.
that they would replace their kids with changelings.
Yeah. So Fae aren't, little fairies. They're not Rhysand of the Night Court. And so we'll do a whole deep dive on the Fae at some point. It might be multiple episodes because there's a lot of stuff about the Fae out there. Um, anyways, um,
As time progressed and Samhain came into the Middle Ages, so did the celebration of the bonfires. Bonfires became more personal and closer to home. It became a tradition to have your home lit to protect families from monsters and fairies, which they thought were the worst monsters out there, like we just said. Um, the tradition started by carving turnips and potatoes with scary faces to scare away any kind of monster that would try to come into your home. They would attach little strings on them and hang them up in their homes. They would put them on sticks and they would stuff coals in their mouths to create little mini bonfires. And because of that, the legend started to spread throughout, um, which is the legend of Stingy Jack or Jack of the Lantern. Have you guys ever heard of the legend of Jack?
He's the guy that drank with the devil.
Yeah, so do you guys know how we got the name jack-o'-lanterns? Because this is the story about the name behind jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah, it's a idea of tricking the devil. I don't know the full story.
All right. According to the legend, Stingy Jack invited the devil to have a drink with him. True to his name, Stingy Jack didn't want to pay for his drinks, so he convinced the devil to turn himself into a coin so that Jack could use it to buy their drinks. Once the devil did, Jack decided to keep the money and put it into his pocket, which prevented the devil from changing back into his original form. And how he did this was that he had a silver cross in his pocket too. So apparently that prevented the devil from being able to transform back. But Jack did eventually free the devil under the condition that he would not bother Jack again for another year. He should Jack die, he could not claim his soul. The next year, Jack again tricked the devil into climbing into the tree to pick a piece of fruit. While he was up there, Jack carved a sign of the cross on a tree, so the devil could not come down from the tree until the devil promised Jack not to bother him for another 10 years. Soon after, Jack died. As the legend goes, God would not allow such an unsavory figure into heaven. The devil, upset by the trick that Jack had played on him all these years, not keeping his word, would not allow Jack into hell either. He sent Jack off into the dark night with only a burning coal to light his way. Jack put the coal into a carved out turnip and has been roaming the earth with it ever since. The Irish began to refer to this ghostly figure as Jack of the Lantern, and then simply put it, Jack O' Lantern.
Okay, so the devil's like, I'm going to keep my word. Who would have thought that the devil of
Who would
all
have thought the
people,
devil was such a,
stand up
you know,
guy?
yeah, he was like, I'll keep my word. But this guy's
Yeah.
like, no, I need those drinks and I need my soul. I guess needing your soul is a very important.
Well, I mean, it's called drinking spirits, so maybe you have to have one to be able to enjoy
To
one.
participate into drinking spirits. Makes
Exactly.
sense, makes sense. I don't know if it was worth internal, I guess you would call this internal damnation, walking the earth forever with just a little lantern and a turnip.
I mean, if it comes with a drinky drink, it might be okay.
It might be a little okay. I don't remember that part
yeah.
about Halloween. I feel like that's a recent addition, the spirits part.
I don't know about the spirits, but we do know about the cakes.
Cakes?
Yes, the cakes.
I can't
A lot of
believe we're
people don't know
having
about the
another
cakes.
conversation about cakes.
We sure love
No
our
one's
cake.
caked up in this one,
Oh,
but there
man.
were
Well, not that
cakes.
kind of caked up.
I don't think you can cake up Halloween.
I mean,
people find a way. I mean,
We'll talk about that in a bit.
focus. We can do this. So, Samhain and soul cakes. By 9th century, pagan rites and Samhain traditions blended. But because Saint and Souls Day followed on November 1st and 2nd, less fortunate families would visit wealthier families, receive pastries called soul cakes, in exchange for promises to pray for the souls of the homeowner's dead relatives, also known as souling. It was later done by children who would go door to door in costumes, performing poems, jokes, or tricks before getting their treats. Adopted on October 31st, All Hallows Eve also started to be known as Halloween in the 19th century throughout America, especially in the immigrants of Irish and Scottish coming in with their own traditions and blending them with pagan traditions and celebrations. And, it kind of became the Halloween we know today.
That's a fun little fact of that's how trick-or-treating was started. Instead of candy, you would get soul cakes.
Right?
That's pretty
I guess
fun.
candy could be like a little cake, depending on the kind.
so
I'm sure back then it was like candy.
So Saint and Souls Day is very much like Dia de los Muertos.
I was
Pretty
thinking that's
much. It
Because
was
when you're
very
talking about the
much
soul
paying
cakes, it made me
tribute
think
to
of Pan de
souls.
Muerto.
Yeah, because they
Which,
were paying
yes.
tribute to souls and families, offering prayers for these cakes.
I do gotta say, I do love me a Pan de Muerto. They're very tasty.
I love Pan de Muerto, making it, buying it, eating it, champurrado. Oh, the
Oh
season
my
is so
god, yes.
good. This whole season.
Yes,
Cannot
the
wait.
season.
This would make sense because it does say that Irish and Scottish immigrants brought this tradition across the ocean. But I would also say that America is heavily blended with Mexican traditions too.
Yeah, it's the blend of Catholicism. It's the idea of Catholicism being blended. No, you're good.
Dia de
It's
los
Catholicism
Muertos.
being blended with other
Yeah.
cultures, so pagan rituals, indigenous like cultures, and that's why I love like all of Latin America because they have like these very specific traditions that are tied to it. And I know we will have a whole episode on Dia de los Muertos, but um, there's this like in Guatemala they have kites that they fly for Day of the Dead, and like I don't know, just how it shifts and changes is really cool. But going back to Samhain and soul cakes.
Yeah, these are all just like little fun facts about Halloween, little how we get some of our traditional things that you see today. Like we said, soul cakes are probably, not probably, they are the root of trick or treating. And the stingy jack is why we have jack-o'-lanterns around.
I was gonna say, and that's why the kids go around saying trick or treat, smell my feet,
Give me something good to eat.
This one says that they perform poems. So, like, was that a version of a poem?
Maybe.
That three
Like-
stanza.
You gotta. I don't even think kids say that anymore. I
Do
haven't gave out
kids go
candy in a few
outside?
years. For Halloween? I don't know about where you guys are at, but where I'm at, our block is packed for every Halloween. I feel like people drive up to there just to Halloween. Because we run out of candy every year by maybe 2 hours in to after nightfall. Run out of candy. So many trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, so when I was in Orange County, my grandparents' house was very popular. I come from a family of entomologists, so think creepy crawly critters. That's us. So they had all these, live tarantulas, live scorpions, as well as pinned moths, butterflies, all of that. So many people loved coming to that house because my grandparents would put on the display. They would show off their bugs and stuff, and they would run out of candy like so quick. So it's weird since I moved here. It's not as crazy, but I think the pandemic had a little play in that people don't go all out as they used to.
Well, during the pandemic, I know this for a fact because my sister has a child. Trunk or treating became more popular to do than going around neighborhoods because you could just park your car in a parking lot and just walk around the parking lot. Much safer. You know who's there, who's participating. Everyone gives candy, decorates their little trunk. So I do
Mhm.
believe that trunk or treats and festivals are more popular now than going house to house to get candy.
I know you said that the trunk or treat sounds safer, but in my head, I'm like, oh, yes, let me just throw you in my car because I
I thought
already
about
have
that too,
candy.
but you got to sign.
Come here, little child. I have candy in my car.
Right?
You know, would
You
be
also thought it.
absolutely
There's no way you
okay.
didn't.
Can we get an adult trunk or treat? Because you know, it would be absolutely terrifying if someone had a trunk of like it, and he was in there, and you made it look like a sewage drain, and you're like, "Come closer," and like they do, and you just like pull them into your trunk. I don't know how you pull an adult into your trunk, but let's just do that because I
You're
feel like
just,
I just
I
want
was
to cause
gonna
havoc. I just want to be chaotic with that.
I have some booze in here. You
They'll be
want a
like, "Oh,
shot?
really?"
I got
everything
some
you just
weed. You want
said.
some?
Everything I just said is considered kidnapping as soon as it happens, but you know.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's also a commercial for, I think, Jack in the Box or some other, I think it's Jack in the Box, might be some other food company that had like a food truck with their like stuff, and then like they get killed or murdered or
I
taken.
have not seen commercials in so long. I pay to not see them.
I went and looked for this commercial because of
I do miss the silly Halloween commercials. So I think my favorite one is I want to say it's Progressive, where they're like, "Oh my god, they're getting chased by the killer," and they're like, "Let's go hide in the shed with all the chainsaws," and they like go in there and they run because they're making fun of like how dumb some of the choices are in scary movies. I don't know if that one's still running, but I do like that one.
I'll send you the other one. You have to see
Oh
it.
yeah, I gotta see that one now
The
because I didn't know
storytelling, the
that was a
production
thing.
value, worth it.
Oh. Another
Um,
fun fact about Stingy Jack, now that we think about it, because you're like, how the heck did that even? Why do we use pumpkins? We actually use pumpkins because pumpkins were native to America. So instead of using the traditional turnips and potatoes, there was abundant of pumpkins in America during this time. And they started using pumpkins. And that's why we have jack-o'-lanterns in pumpkins now.
Fast forward to the 1950s, where the post war baby boom brings a wave of creativity. Halloween became a familiar affair with themed parties, decorations, and drumroll please, mass produced costumes. Suddenly, you can be anything from a pirate to a princess without needing to sew a single stitch.
Can we just take a second and admire some of the costumes before mass production of costumes was a thing? Some
they're
of those costumes
frightening
are
and
really great.
wonderful at the same time. Some of them are kind of like, oh my God.
I mean, like, I don't see
DIY.
a lot of, like, I do, obviously, it's easier for kids to buy mass produced costumes. But for adults now, I see a lot of made costumes. A lot of people just make their costumes now.
Yeah, I mean, I used to go with my mom to the thrift store and get stuff to make costumes. We would just buy stuff to put it together and voila, costume.
I'm guilty of reusing my Renaissance fair costume in different ways and accessorizing. I'm still trying to decide what to dress up as this year. I want it to be Gotham related. So
I know you guys can't see us, but they have witch hats on. And I was about to say, add a witch hat to anything and you a witch. That's it.
Yeah,
That's the costume. Like, you a witch.
I'm wearing a purple tank top, a jean jacket, and a witch's
And
hat.
she's a witch.
Which,
She's a witch.
metal
Witch!
shirt,
Burn
uh,
her.
shut up.
accessory, necklaces, hat. Don't burn anybody. Get out of here.
Claudia's hat is pink and mine is black.
Oh, you guys remind me of oh, actually, is anyone gonna go see Wicked?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so you
have
guys
to.
remind me of right now.
I was Elphaba in middle school, so
Aw.
I was obsessed. We would listen to it and sing it all the time as a theater kid, so I have to. There's
All I
And-
want to say is, yeah. I want to say it because Ariana Grande's in it. I'm not even gonna
gonna
lie.
make you popular. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for I don't know if excited is the right word. I am going to see Wicked. Also when what was the last movie we saw? I think we went and saw Transformers 1 with the kids. My daughter said that it looked like a really good story and she really wanted to watch it. And I was like, yes. And then I put on the musical in the car and sang to her. So, yay.
That's so cute.
I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a very popular costume now talking about it this year is
Yeah.
Wicked costumes. There was another
And
one where I was like,
Beetlejuice.
yes, that one. I was like, and Beetlejuice. Those are gonna probably be the two most popular costumes this year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have a costume already, so I'm not like worried. But I did see a bunch of like cute like Beetlejuice like dresses, and I was like, shit, I kind of want to be Beetlejuice now.
Beetlejuice.
I mean,
Don't say his name 3
Beetlejuice.
times.
all this talk of costumes.
Speaking
I
of
kind of wish.
musicals, have you listened to the musical for Beetlejuice?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about because I love it because he's in it. I know exactly who you're talking about. I love it.
Alex
so much.
Brightman, who's also in Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel, and plays like the greatest characters. Honestly,
Yes, I love that when Beetlejuice came out, people weren't even using the audio from the movie. They were using it from from the musical. I was like, this has been out for a while. You guys are using soundtrack for the movie? But yes. What were you saying, Claudia?
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm speaking of Wicked. It makes me really want to be a flying monkey. I feel like that would be a fun costume to make.
A flying
it would be.
monkey?
Yeah, because you
Out
could
of
get the
all
wings.
all the characters, you want to be a flying monkey?
Hell yeah! Wouldn't that be terrifying? Like, oh, look at this little witch. Look at this little princess. What the are you?
I'm the flying.
So I'll be Elphaba, and Bree will be Glinda, and you'll be a flying monkey.
Yeah, duh.
I don't even
I
have
love
any
it.
events to go to this year, so I don't have a costume this year because I don't think I have any events that I'm going to this year.
Well, let's
You're-
find some events.
Yeah,
But
go to the Queen Mary.
can
what
you
were
dress
we
up
talking
at the
about?
Queen Mary?
Oh,
I feel like they're always anti-adults dressing up at events because it's scary.
yeah,
Scares
adults
them.
don't have an imagination and have fun. Even when my kids aren't going to be trick-or-treating anymore, I'm still going to be dressing up. I've been dressing up long before my kids were born.
I don't
And
know.
I'll
I
be-
feel like adult Halloween is way funner than kids Halloween because candy is okay, but like being spooky and drinking, that's fun.
I feel like nothing changes. Like, listen, you're having treats, some kind of snack, some kind of juice, drink, adult beverage.
Some juice.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're
and if
dressing
you're
up,
like
you're watching
me, you're
scary
having
movies.
an adult gummy.
Are you having? What did you say?
Oh.
I said, unless you're like me, then you're having an adult gummy. So, it's candy still.
Oh, not me. I'll be staring at the wall for way too long. I'm all about those spirits.
I'm just here for the pie.
Oh my god, not the pie.
I'm the
She'd
stoner.
be like, "You guys have candy?" No, I don't want the candy. Like, you guys have pie?
So I'm the stoner, Breeze the I don't know what's a
I'm
nice
the
way to say
alcoholic.
it.
And I have diabetes. No, just kidding. Not yet. I'm gonna knock on wood for that one. Not yet.
And Claudia's here for the pie. Oh my god.
Oh gosh. Why?
We don't have to be. It's fine.
I know.
We're having fun. That's what this holiday is all about. Fun. That's why it's my
Hell
favorite
yeah.
holiday because it's fun. Unlike another holiday where I just stress out most of the season.
I don't know why you don't like Christmas, but we'll get to that later.
I think it's because I've worked in
Retail.
consumerism retail for so long that it made me not like the holiday. It's not that I hate the holiday, but I feel like as soon as I'm out of that, get it out of my head, then I will enjoy Christmas more. But right now it just makes me stress out. I feel like there's just such a weight on you.
And people become just mean during the holidays.
Yeah, you would think it would be the opposite. Like people would be mean because it's Halloween. No, they're happy. They're excited.
Working in hospitality, working in food service, working in retail, no matter what, during the holidays, people are just mean.
They'd be stressed.
I know that's what it is, but like,
see, that's exactly what it is. Everyone's stressed, so they're mean. But during Halloween, everyone's not stressed. They're having fun, so it's a fun holiday.
I don't know. It is pretty stressful. What am I going to wear?
That's not
what
stressful.
am I going to be?
You wear a bed sheet, poke some eye holes in there. You a ghost.
You can also wear that on
or
Christmas.
Like
it just depends on.
Just put a witch hat on. You a witch.
The ghosts of Christmas past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add some chains, and you're just like the. Why was I going to say Oliver Twist? I know that's not the answer.
You're Oliver Twist. I think you're getting your Christmas carols mixed up.
That's not even what.
That doesn't See, obviously, I'm not the expert in Christmas. That's you, because I don't know.
Yeah, girl.
I'm dying now.
I got Halloween.
I felt like the intrusive thought, and I'm like, why? That's like, I know that's wrong.
For someone who loves Christmas songs, because I do not.
Oh God, I hate them. We like have a whole playlist. Okay, but we're getting distracted.
We are. It's fine. We're
Sorry,
good.
this turned into an anti-Christmas podcast. Stop apologizing.
There's no apologizing here.
Which is
no apologizing allowed.
No. Unless you actually did something awful.
Or you gotta be like, witch, please. I haven't said that this episode yet. Even though you guys have your little witch hats on.
So Claudia left off on the 1950s. But by the 1970s, Halloween is in full swing and things get a little bit wilder. Haunted houses pop up, candy sales skyrocket, and the classic tradition of trick-or-treating takes center stage. It's a candy lover's dream, with kids collecting sweets, with family, with friends, maybe by yourself. Who knows? But I loved trick-or-treating as a kid.
You guys want to guess during the 1950s to the 1970s what the most popular costumes were?
Ooh, let's do it.
A witch. A cat.
So during the 1950s to the 1970s, it became more popular to start dressing up as movie characters and comic book characters. So
that makes
Superman, Universal Monsters, which they didn't call them that back then, but like Frankenstein, Dracula. That was really popular to dress up as back then.
All right.
But as we roll into the 1980s and 90s, Halloween really embraces pop culture. It becomes very intertwined with everyday. We start celebrating Halloween in August, right? Or even July. Some people start in July now.
Halloween is all year round.
All year round. For me, because I love horror movies, which is what inspires today's Halloween right now and inspires costumes, which we talked about earlier. Heavily inspires costumes, decorations. You go to the stores today and everything is stocked Halloween from bottom to top shelves. The costumes are amazing. It also became a very consumerism holiday because you got to get that candy. We were talking about that earlier too, how trick-or-treaters come to your door now and you give them candy. And if you go to any store, they are fully stocked with candy. Let me tell you, candy is not cheap nowadays. Have you guys bought a bag of candy lately?
Yes. I mean, last Halloween, it was like $30 for a bag. And
That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
I usually just get the bag from like Costco. But like I said, candy does not last long in our neighborhood. And I'm not about to go spend $100 on candy to give away.
No, and like it's $30 per bag, and one bag is never enough. Unless You give each person just one little measly piece.
Or you could just be that one person that gives everyone a box of raisins. Raisins are cheap.
You get one
Apple.
single raisin. Here you go.
One little raisin.
I feel like everyone's going to a Breeze neighborhood because, like, we have not had trick-or-treaters in so long that if we, like, sometimes, like, I'll get it just in case, like, that one kid, and, like, not even, like, the one kid. So hearing you
Yes.
talk
You are
about
the
it, I'm
one
like,
kid, and then you eat all the candy.
yeah, basically.
You're
I mean, I
going
am
around
dressed
being
up.
like, where are my
and-
candy and my pies?
But at that point, I'm just getting myself a pie.
Yes, the
Yeah,
pies.
so I think Halloween has also, like I said, it's transformed a little. Some people are going to trunk or treats, some are just going to festivals, but it's also popular. Growing up, you just kind of trick or treated around your neighborhood. But
Mhm.
nowadays, people go and they drive to certain neighborhoods because they know they have candy, they know they have decorations. So
They know they
why
got the full-size
trick-or-treat?
candy bars.
Yeah, they got the full size candy bars. They know that, so they go to certain neighborhoods to trick or treat. Like I said, there is so many cars on our street for Halloween because people are driving from I don't know where, and the streets are full of people.
All I heard was business opportunity. Just kidding.
Yeah, like you know how many years I've thought about like I should just sell hot chocolate in my driveway. I'd make a lot of money on Halloween night.
Oh, yeah.
Hot chocolate, $5 a cup for those little paper foam cups. $5.
I can see it. I feel like it would do well.
It would. You know, it would be alcohol, but I'm pretty sure you have to have a special license to do that.
Yeah, you have to have an
Oh.
alcohol license
You
for
are
that.
not selling that. That was not mentioned on this. In fact, nobody heard that.
No, I don't sell
No
alcohol.
alcohol
I
is
don't
being
have a
sold
license
here.
to sell alcohol.
That's for
Though I
our cups.
What?
We bring our flasks and we just,
Oh, yeah, you bring your own alcohol while you're trick-or-treating.
yeah,
I imagine.
BYOB.
Just kidding.
We'll sell you the hot cocoa, but you got to bring your own alcohol.
We will not be held responsible for anything that may or may not happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe I should just sell like cups of juice, orange juice. Bring your own alcohol.
You're just gonna sell straight mixer.
Yeah. Bring your own. Just pour it in.
What kind of monster are
I sell
you?
I sell the cup and the juice. The premix. Okay, so now we see Halloween in today, which we're talking about right now. It's a scare fest now. Are you guys a fan of horror?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you,
for
though?
me, maybe not at your extent. For me, I like horror shows and I like horror games. It's just I have a hard time sitting through movies already. So horror movies I get bored with unless I'm at home. But I think that's my ADHD.
Yeah, definitely like horror games. I'll do like escape rooms, but I do think there's like a certain level of like I'm not a big fan of like the gore porn style of some films have gone in. But I do like psychological thrillers. Sometimes I'll watch it for the artsiness of it.
Did you see the okay, so you guys know what the Terrifier is? Have you guys seen that one?
Yes.
Okay, so
No, I don't know.
Number 3 is coming out, and there's like a huge disclaimer on it saying
Isn't it like a
hey,
Christmas one?
it is a Christmas one, but apparently it's bad. I don't know if they're being dramatic about how bad it is, but
Have you
apparently
seen
it's
have you
gonna
seen
be
the other
pretty gory.
Terrifier movies?
I have seen both Terrifier movies. So it's supposed to be worse than number 2. If that made you feel any kind of squirmish, number 3 is supposed to be worse. I don't know
Good
how
Lord.
it could get worse from that because that movie is all about the gore for no particular reason.
No,
I
thank
love
you.
horror. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love horror.
I
But
enjoy
gore is
horror, but
probably
not
my
this
least
kind.
favorite genre in horror. I get
Yeah.
it. But my favorite movies are not the gory ones like Terrifier.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's one of the reasons why I couldn't like keep watching the Saw series. It just it got to the point
Saw
where
is
I'm
not
just
my
like,
favorite either.
it just made me feel it's not like thrilling or anything like other horror films are. It was more just like you're just cringing the whole time.
Yeah, the last one that was in theaters, I was like ooh, ooh, like the whole
Yeah, I didn't
time they were
even
doing
bother
like
with
the
it.
traps. I could not like it. I watched it obviously because the twist was interesting, but I'm not into that. I don't know. Have never been my favorite.
My favorite movie is Cabin in the Woods just because it makes fun of horror films while being a horror film itself.
I thought you were going to say because it's Chris Hemsworth because that's why it's my favorite.
Okay.
It's
If you don't know now, you probably will know now that I like Chris Hemsworth.
yeah, she's
I
a
like
Thor
Thor.
girly.
And I'm so sad. Well, actually, I'm not sad because I think they're going to make another Thor. He said, I'm still down for this.
So I always get the cabin in the woods and the lake house confused.
The Lake House.
The lake house is like it's like a romance film where two people are falling in love and sending each other love letters. And so I might be like, oh, I love this romance. I love Cabin in the Woods.
No, 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 no.
The lake house, that's the one where it's like they're in different like times or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And it's
It's a
okay.
little sci-fi as yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I am the opposite of I like romantic comedies. That's why I like horror because those movies do not do anything for me. I'm sorry.
I get so bored with romantic comedies. It's always the exact
I'm
same
like,
like
is somebody gonna
story
kill somebody right now? Just kidding.
because it feels like it.
I mean,
um,
it's a comfort thing.
yeah. Well, what's comforting to me is horror, which I don't know what that says about me.
No, I get it because
Girl,
like
you
on a
fucked
bad
up.
day, I love a good disaster movie.
I'm fucked up.
I hate disaster movies because it makes me like super anxious.
Disaster ones? There hasn't
Yeah.
been one in a while. Has there?
Also,
When's the last
growing
one
up with
that came out?
scientists, a lot of things like just don't make sense, and then it's just like, no.
You don't watch it because it makes sense. I mean, we know that there are no Sharknadoes happening anytime soon.
I really wish there was
Sometimes,
a Sharknado.
I don't know. With
sometimes
all
you're
these
just like,
hurricanes, they might bring a shark with it.
I just think that sometimes when you're having a rough day and you put it on, you're like, you know what? Could be worse. Could be so much worse.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of disaster movies either. They're okay. They're just so dramatic. I haven't seen a recently good one lately. Nah. Every time I go to the theaters, it's mainly to watch a horror movie or an action movie. Yeah, my favorite genres: action, fantasy, horror. Other than that, I don't go to the movies to see anything else.
Yeah. Action,
But
sci-fi, fantasy,
oh yeah, sci-fi.
and
Yeah, that closely
yeah.
aligns with horror though. A lot of horror is sci-fi, fantasy, horror.
hmm
Going back to Cabin in the Woods, it is called Cabin in the Woods because a lot of scary movies take place in a cabin in the woods.
Yep.
So it's kind of a just like a knock to that, and it makes fun of like every traditional scary movie thing in there. And it
Mhm.
is a great movie if you have not checked it out. If you want something spooky to watch and you have not watched Cabin in the Woods, you need to watch that.
Yeah,
And
because
not for
it's
the movie, you watch it for Chris Hemsworth.
shut up. It's also really well done satire. So it has that like it feels like it's being like a serious scary movie, like taking it seriously. But if you are a fan of horror films and just are very aware of the just the way they like to lay out horror films, you'll see how it's making fun of literally everything.
So Halloween is also my favorite holiday because so many horror films come out for Halloween because they try to make that like Halloween timeline. And I love it so much. I love that when the theater is just filled with like 10 horror movies. I love to watch them all. Even though maybe only one of them is good out of the 10. Because horror is really popular, but it's also really hard to make a horror movie good. I don't know about you guys, but it's really hard to make a horror movie good. A lot of the timelines are very reiterated.
Speaking on really good horror movies, I really want to see the one that came out last year with like it's kind of shot on like old school film. The main monster character is a giant puppet and it's got 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just trying to remember the name. It starts with a V. And I know I asked if you had watched it.
Oh, this is when you were asking about
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah, I saw
Yes.
that. I didn't look it up. It's a puppet? I thought it was like a vampire.
It is a vampire, but it's like they went
Oh,
old school. What's practical effects? It
interesting.
starts with a V. Oh my gosh, my brain.
The Vordelok.
You know what movie I
Genre.
watch constantly, even when it's not Halloween? My favorite film of all time. The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that
Oh my
movie.
God.
Oh, that one's perfect because it's Christmas and
Beautiful.
Halloween.
I love you, Tim Burton.
Oh yeah, the
One of my-
Vordelok. Vordelok.
I saw a video of people talking about Halloween decorations and how they said Nightmare Before Christmas is the live, laugh, love of Halloween decorations, and I can't unsee it.
You know what? I was here for like 20 years with that. Now it's popular. But I have always been that weird kid that's like Night Before Christmas. And I will always be
me
that
too.
weird
That's why we
person
became friends.
that loves Night Before Christmas. Anything Tim Burton. I love it. One of my other favorite movies is Sleepy Hollow. Love that movie so much.
Mhm.
It makes me happy. That's my comfort movie. When you guys say comfort movie, romantic, that's my comfort movie. I don't know what that says about me, like I said earlier, but I find comfort in Sleepy Hollow.
Like I said, it depends. Like I don't always gravitate towards the same type of comfort film. It depends on the kind of comfort I'm seeking.
I am seeking Sleepy Hollow and Johnny Depp.
not Johnny Depp in Sweeney Todd.
My
Oh,
cousin.
yes. Always
my,
seeking Johnny Depp.
My cousin, the one in the Navy, her comfort films are usually involve a prehistoric animal or a current animal eating people. Her two comfort movies are Jaws and Jurassic Park.
Ooh,
I was gonna say
yes.
Jurassic Park. That came into my mind the very first, like, dinosaur
Yes.
eating people.
I would make fun of her when she'd be like studying because she's got a PhD. She's done a lot of school. Props to her. I could never. But while she's like studying and stuff, she's stressed out and she's watching Jaws. And I was like, girl, how does this calm you down? She's like, I don't know. It just makes me feel better.
Makes me feel better that there's things out there that just eat people.
No, it makes
in that.
sense because I would classify Jaws and Jurassic Park under a disaster film. Because you have to have like a team that goes out to like save you from whatever's happening. It's also something that is not likely to happen. An extreme version, perhaps not Sharknado version, but there's different levels of disaster.
Did you guys watch all the Jurassic Parks?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you say Jurassic Park, my mind just goes to that new dinosaur with the long nails, and I love that dinosaur, the one with the long nails,
the one that's serving.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
But also, did you know that there is a upcoming horror game for Jurassic Park, where it is survival game? You gotta survive.
I think
being eaten by the dinosaurs. You might want to tell your cousin
I heard
about that. That one looks pretty fun. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs have always been pretty, especially the Jurassic Park ones. I've always been waiting for a horror film from them. I would love a horror film from the Jurassic Park franchise because dinosaurs, frankly, are scary. That's a scary situation to be in. And I would love to see
as a kid, I was terrified of dinosaurs. I thought dinosaurs were going to come to life. I thought Jurassic Park was a documentary. I don't know. Which is funny because my daughter became obsessed with dinosaurs, and I would be like, yeah, dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
But like I was saying with the disaster movies earlier, that they drive me crazy. I love watching Jurassic Park. It's fun, but the whole time I'm pissed the fuck off the whole time. I'm like, how can you be so stupid?
Let's combine them and make something
the dinosaurs
scarier.
Just smarter. Outsmarted by the dinos. Yeah, the Jurassic World series is interesting. It brought a very interesting perspective to dinosaurs. Not my favorite. I love the classic Jurassic Parks. I will always remember the scene. I think it's Jurassic Park 2, where that little girl's on the beach And she's like, "Oh, little baby dinosaurs," and they all just jump on her.
Yeah, it's the
Terrifying.
second one.
That scene is
That's
so
the
scary.
opening.
Yes, I will always remember that part in Jurassic Park
Speaking
2.
of openings that have traumatized me, Ghost Ship is one of them.
Oh, I love Ghost Ship.
The movie's
Love
good,
that movie.
but that opening traumatized me for most of my childhood.
By the way, we are talking a lot about films. We have special segments that we are also going to introduce talking about films. If you guys have any recommendations for your favorite films, I've seen most horror movies. If I haven't seen something, I will watch it anytime, any place, any day. Love to talk about horror films.
The way my brain was like, what do you mean anytime, any place? What are you trying to invite here?
Girl, I'm watching horror films all the time.
I don't know. Be careful. I've been
I'll take
seeing
them on.
things
I'll take you
about
on. Just kidding. I
certain
claim no
movies
negative
that are
energy.
very disturbing.
Yeah,
That
there's
maybe
some films I would never want to watch or have seen clips of where I'm like, no, thank you.
I'll never watch Human
I
Centipede.
have
No,
enough
thank
trauma. I'm good.
The Human Centipede? Is that what you just said?
I said
I will
I've
never
had
watch
enough
it.
trauma. Oh, that.
Have you seen that? Reminds me of that. Have you seen that South Park episode where they make fun of it, where it's like human centipede,
Oh,
and they make
gosh.
a human centipede with 3 people attached to each other, and then like the butt has the iPad on it. And
Oh my god.
I just every time I think of human centipede, I think of that now.
Oh god.
But yes, I do not like the Human Centipede. Not a fan of that franchise either. Oh my gosh, do you know what movie actually traumatized me? Because this is also just, I don't know why people do this. If you're one of these people that do this, you're crazy. Cave diving, cave splunking. The
Oh,
Descent, that movie, when I was little watching that, got me so bad because I was like, that is terrifying thought, thinking that you could dive into a cave and there's just creatures in there waiting to eat you. And throughout that movie, like, they get injured, so they can't run out of the cave fast enough, or they also get lost in the cave because
Yeah.
no one's discovered it before.
That's what I'm
And
more
a lot of
afraid
them just
of.
end up dying because they get hurt and lost. And it's horrible.
as someone who's gone into like a beautiful cenote before or has contemplated rappelling into a cave, I think we'll be fine.
Ugh.
Yeah, no thank you. No cave splunking for me. I will not be going into a cave. You can't pay me to do that.
I would like to see the mortuary assistant turned into a movie.
I don't know how they would adapt that to a movie. It's really
I
hard
mean-
to adapt games to movies. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's trying it, but it still doesn't capture that puzzle, mind-bending, like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Because there's so many hidden meanings in horror games that just get lost in translation when you make them into movies.
Yeah.
And that's probably my number one complaint of making games into movies, is that Hollywood's just in it for they just change the script and they change everything about what made it special.
Speaking of games into movies, did you see the Borderlands movie?
I did not. I heard very, very bad things. I did not want to ruin my brain with it.
It is like somebody just badly explained the Borderlands franchise to somebody, and then they made a movie off of it. And it made me really mad because I love the Borderland games so much. It's not a horror game, but oh my god, it was so bad.
I did
It
a quick
looked bad.
search, and
The cast
apparently
looked bad
10%.
except for Jamie Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the biggest example of lost in translation of game to movie.
They should have done what they did with The Last of Us. I think The Last of Us did an amazing job at telling the story from the game. It was just really well done. And I know I'm obsessed with Pedro Pascal, and that's not the
I was gonna
reason
say,
why.
you're just saying that because he's in it. Are you just saying that
That
just
is
to put
not
him in
the only
everything?
reason why.
That's not
Put
the
him in
only reason,
Borderlands.
and there's no shame if you're a Pedrito fan. So
It's okay.
back
I've been talking
off.
about my 2 people. That's their person. They love him so much.
I love
Yeah,
him.
we do. I have. Oh my gosh, yes!
Oh my
I cannot wait for his Gladiator 2 film. I want to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
I can care less
See,
about
there's the
Gladiator
yes that I
middle.
gave Chris Hemsworth and Johnny Depp. There's their yes.
I don't know.
I don't
They're just
yuck your yum. You let us
yeah,
be.
yeah.
No,
There's
I'm
just
fine.
something about
I
his
told you
face.
guys. I know you guys love him. I know it. I loved that series. I thought that was a good adaptation. I can't wait for
Yeah.
season. Well,
And I really
I
enjoyed
wish they
even the
would do that
episode
with
that they
games.
added.
I would love to say I can't wait to season 2, but I also do not want season 2 to come out.
I know.
If you played the game, you know, you know.
I know.
It's gonna be
I
so
don't-
emotional.
And I don't want to say anything for people who have not.
I know we're not going to give any spoilers because there's probably people who just watched the show and don't know anything about the game, but buckle up for season 2. It's going to be a rough one.
I also think that adapting a show to a game is probably a better idea just because games do have very long stories.
Yes.
That was a really smart thing on their part.
Yes, that's what I love, that they did it as a show instead of a movie. Because, like, even with, what is that movie that Tom Holland was in? Uncharted should have been a show as well. Because there's way too much in these games to
That
just
movie
put in a
flew
short
by.
movie.
Like, it was so fast paced. I was just like, what is happening here? The only reason I went to go see it was because Tom Holland was in it. I'm not gonna lie. I think I just like Disney. What's wrong with me? Disney.
Yep.
I like Disney, guys. You gotta be in a Disney film to talk to me.
I
While I'm
like
over
how
here,
the quieter
like-
we are, the more like she's trying to fill in. Like it's perfectly natural.
She's like, it's natural. It's okay.
I'm just like, nobody said anything. You're fine. You can like what you like.
Well, for me,
Chill.
it's Pedro Pascal and Oscar Isaac. I mean, both are from Star Wars franchise, which is kind of Disney too. But
The new one? The new franchise of Star Wars?
yeah,
Ew.
because Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian and Oscar Isaac is what's his face?
Blah blah blah. Backstory. Star Wars.
Poe, right? That's his name.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just teasing you.
I'm gonna be a hater and be like, I was not a fan of the new trilogy. Don't like
It was
it.
fun. It was nostalgic.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
There's no fun to be had in that trilogy.
Oh, geez.
Nope. You will not
I
have
feel
me
like
fun.
your version of fun and my version of fun.
No one got their
Very
head cut off, chopped in half. It was not fun. Just kidding.
Well, then
There's
you
not
can
enough
go back
horror
to your
for her,
human
okay?
centipede, and that is all.
I just miss Anakin so much. It's just watching the trilogy, I'm just like, no. I hate this. You can't twirl your lightsaber like he could.
Oh my God, Hayden Christensen. Yes, of course.
Yes,
We all
I
did.
love him so much.
Why?
He
I've
got
never
so much
understood
hate,
why.
though.
Like,
It's so sad.
I never understood it because, like, they're like she has like Obi-Wan, who's like, yes, obviously you ran away with your bodyguard, and then you find out she went for like the moody teenager, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
What do you mean, why?
Why? I don't get it.
Yeah, how dare you?
That's not even a question. What do you mean, why?
Have you seen
Why?
Anakin?
Have you seen him with his shirt
Anakin.
off? Like, have you seen him? Like, what? I'm confused at this question you're asking. What do you mean, why?
I'm
You know this-
saying
Why
that
not?
She could have been with
Why
Ewan
not?
McGregor, and she chose. I'm just
What?
saying. I'm just saying.
No.
His personality and the whole thing is just like angry teenager.
If you could see my face right now, it is very like a confused face.
Yeah, she's
no.
giving her the dirtiest look ever.
Okay, what I'm
giving
saying is
resting
that
witch face. 'Cause-
Brianna's gonna pick appearances, yes.
no, okay, it wasn't even about appearances. He's a good character. That was a good written character.
he's a whiny teenager.
Yeah, but he was a teenager, a young adult when all that happened. He's not
Yes.
ancient like Obi-Wan.
Oh my
And
god.
Okay.
He
we'll
was
have
strict.
we'll have another
We're
episode
not having
about
a
Star
discussion
Wars
of Star Wars
apparently.
right now. Sorry. If you want a side episode of Star Wars, just me and Claudia going back and forth about this. That's nothing to
Nobody
do with
wants this. Nobody
Halloween.
asked for this.
You know,
And
this whole episode's supposed to be about Halloween, and somehow we are
We need to get
now
back
arguing
to
about Star Wars.
Halloween.
So we're gonna delete the last 30 minutes of whatever.
No,
we're gonna leave it
in. We're gonna leave it in.
We're gonna leave
but
it in.
Let's get back to Halloween because
Yes,
actually, you know, being a Jedi is a very popular Halloween costume.
girl.
I have thought
Yes.
of being a Darth Sloth before. You know what that means? A Jedi in a sloth costume. Darth Sloth. Darth Slothius.
And if you want to send any recs for me from a Gotham character from Batman, let me know. I don't know.
Wait, why didn't you start off with that?
I did.
You
I
could
tried,
be,
but
like-
y'all kept talking about other stuff.
Be Bane. What? That's not even a question. What? I was literally just talking about this
Off
earlier
the
before
air,
we started.
off the air. Brie kept talking
Off
about
the
Bane
air, I kept quoting Bane before
from
we
the
started.
Harley Quinn series.
I love the Harley Quinn series. I love Bane. He needs his own show. Be Bane, please.
I too love Harley Quinn. I think most people will find out soon that I'm obsessed a little bit with Harley and Ivy.
Like Bane.
So.
Was born in the darkness, molded by it.
Going back to the games, I'm just curious what other people think. I've had this discussion with my husband. What's a game or a movie you wish you could see or play for the first time again? For me, it's BioShock.
I heard BioShock. I heard it might get a show adaptation.
I hope they do it as a show.
Rumor, but I hope it's not by Netflix. No hate on Netflix. There's some hate on Netflix. I hope it's somebody else. Baby. Yes, I hope it's HBO. HBO be doing it right. I can't wait for the Harry Potter series to show. I'm glad HBO got that. And not Netflix.
I probably won't be watching it because I don't like J.K. Rowling anymore.
I will watch it. I am a wizard. But growing up, I always wanted to be a wizard. I was always expecting to receive my letter in the mail, which never came.
Oh,
very disappointed.
Me and my cousin, not the one in the Navy, but the younger one, we would write each other letters from Hogwarts and pretend that we got an acceptance letter from Hogwarts.
Oh. I think that was everyone's wish growing up, was like, am I going to get my letter? And when it didn't come, very disappointed that I'm not a wizard.
Very sad.
But I want to be a wizard.
Yeah, clearly I want to be a witch.
Wizard for Halloween. You look like Professor McGonagall. Aw,
thank you.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
I'm so sad
Maggie Smith.
that the original three are no longer with us.
Yeah. Hagrid, Dumbledore, Snape, and now Professor McGonagall.
Jeez. It's going to be interesting to see a recast of that show. They'll be little babies again. We kind of grew up with the cast of Harry Potter. And now to see them be little babies again is going to be interesting while we're adults now.
I know, it's always like a jump scare when I see Daniel Radcliffe. Because in my head, I know it's awful. But in my head, you think Harry Potter. And now I'm like, oh, he's grown up. That's right. People grow up.
We should have a segment about Harry Potter. I could talk about Harry Potter all day. I can quote lines from Harry Potter, especially the first movie. It's really bad. All right, well, we're going to end up this episode. We're just rambling at this point. We're going to end it off Halloween fun. Fun Halloween time.
Yeah, everybody have a safe and fun Halloween. Stay spooky and stay safe.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. For more ghoulish fun, connect with us on our social medias, Geeky Ghouls or Geeky Ghouls Podcast.
We'd love to hear your suggestions on topics for future episodes. Share your fan art and overall comments about this week's topic.
You can also join our Geeky Coven on Patreon and unlock exclusive content and perks. Your support means the world to us.
Catch us on the next episode of Geeky Ghouls.